A list of mania, think less but see it grow.
Hello everybody, it is the Gnome and welcome to the February 2018 10 for 12. If you are new to my channel, please let me welcome you. It is a pleasure to have you, and I'm looking forward to another strong year of 10 for 12s, because not only are 10 for 12s a top 10 list of a specific thing that I love to talk about with my peers, it is also a time where I actually get to bring another YouTuber in the community to share this little countdown with me. And today I've got a very small YouTuber. As a matter of fact, the fact that she is a small YouTuber is very important, especially this day and age with all of the brand new rules that YouTube has enforced. And she is my friend Chlozy Cat. She is actually a beauty person on YouTube. She does makeup, she does costume stuff on her channel, but that's not the reason why I subscribe to her. She also happens to be a Funko Pop collector extraordinaire, and let me tell you, I have seen all of her Funko Pop collection videos, and we, for the last year and a half, have been talking a lot on Twitter via DM about our collections and giving each other all of the exciting news that Funko has to offer. And let me tell you, this woman really strives to complete her collection. She's got some really rare ones in her collection, and of course, her video will be in the box below. And that's, of course, the theme that we're going to be talking about today, and that is our 10 favorite best-looking pops. And this is not on my countdown going to include anything that was announced in 2018. Let me just give you guys a little bit of an insight in regards to Funko Pops. I still cannot get over the fact that this company is what it is today, and I never even thought that I would actually be a collector until I actually found a Marty McFly from Back to the Future Pop, and it was only a couple months after when the CEO himself, Brian Mariotti, said, by the year 2025, there will be a Funko Pop in every household across the globe. And yes, I will say that when I started collecting, not everybody I knew was on board. Yes, I got my wife a couple of them just to show my love and appreciation for her while we were dating, all throughout the time that we are now happily married, but it finally happened, and all of my wife's favorite things are now becoming Funko Pops. We're talking Fraggle Rock, we're talking Care Bears, and we're even talking Ouran High School Host Club. So my wife recently sent me a text after I told her about some of these new lines, and she said, and I quote in the text, "Take all my money and take it now." So I am very excited to talk about Funko Pops in my 10 for 12 today, and I'm really excited to show you the pictures. I'm going to cut some corners around here today. It's not going to be me just sitting in front of a camera and talking to you guys about these 10 beautifully designed pops. You're actually going to be seeing some pictures, because this deserves some true visual stimulant. So Chloe, I just want to say thank you so much for participating. I'm looking forward to seeing what your list is going to be, because as always, I never ask for the list ahead of time. I like a blind box. And for now, let's begin with my 10 favorite best-looking Funko Pops. So when it comes to trying to determine what are the best-looking pops, two things come to mind. One, it's the overall look of the character, but more importantly, it has to do with something that really connects to the fandom, which is why I'm very happy with the 10 that I have picked for this. So the first one is a Star Wars pop. It is Clone Commander Cody from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This was a Walgreens exclusive, and what makes this so great, not just the intricate details with the paint and the textures and the dimensions of the uniform, but just because of the fact that he is holding the hologram of Darth Sidious executing Order 66. That is what made me interested in this pop, and that's why it is actually one of mine in my collection right now. For my number 9, we go to the world of rock and roll, and it's not just the fact that it is one of the greatest icons in all of rock, which is Jimi Hendrix, but it's the legendary pose at Woodstock. This, of course, is an FYE exclusive, and it was Jimi Hendrix on his knees, setting his guitar on fire and basically worshipping the flames that were emerging from the tinder that he created. It is a gorgeous looking pop, and if you are a Jimi Hendrix purist, you know about this iconic pose that is his legacy. Number 8 is from the wonderful world of Disney. There's actually a couple of Disney Pops here, and it is the recently made over Maleficent. Maleficent had already been made as a Pop, but she was very plain because at the time Pops really weren't as vibrant as they are today. But the remake was a Hot Topic exclusive, and it was Maleficent engulfed in her ghastly green flames, and it's absolutely beautiful. There was also even a glow-in-the-dark chase of this specific figure, but people who saw this remade Pop just had to run out and get it, and if you ask a lot of people who collected Pops over the last year, I believe that this was one of the all-time best of the year. Moving on, we have to talk about one of my favorite films of all time, and it's Back to the Future, and even though there are some really good-looking Back to the Future Pops, the one that really stood out for me was the Dr. Emmett Brown Loot Crate exclusive. It was the Doc Brown from the first Back to the Future film from 1955, and not only are the effects of the jumper cable that he's holding, or the fact that he's wearing those very big goggles, but the textures on the clothing as well as the little scar on his forehead, not to mention the way the hair looked. This was a beautiful Pop of Dr. Brown, and I also have the original one that was made, and while it is good, this one I think is so much better, and as a Back to the Future fan, I had to have it. For number 6, we go to one of the hardest ones that I had to hunt down for my collection. It's a Disney Pop, and it is a San Diego Comic-Con 2017 exclusive. It is Tigger. Tigger also had gone through a serious makeover, because the original Tigger, it really did not look that great. But when Winnie the Pooh was given a makeover as well, along with a whole bunch of his friends from the 100 Acre Woods, it was all just a matter of time before Tigger actually showed up, and the fact that they made him in this bouncing position, and they gave him a little base to balance the tail on so he could stand on display, and they changed the whole facial features. He really looks like he just jumped out of the movie and onto your shelf if you're a collector. It was a pretty penny in order for me to get it, because Barnes & Noble really was not one of the best when it came to this year's Pop collectors, but I'm glad to have it in my collection. So we're going to take a break from the exclusives, thank goodness, because it was just a matter of time before we did. My number 5 is Slimer from the Ghostbusters line. It was actually an iconic Pop for me, even though I don't have any of the Ghostbuster Pops. The reason why this one stood out specifically was because it was the very first time where you actually had something that was not actually standing on its feet. This was actually floating on a glassy base to make it look like he was popping out from slime on the floor. This was something that Funko had never done before, so this was definitely an interesting thing to see, and also it was one of the first few Pops that actually featured a mouth. Most of the iconic Pops don't have mouths, and the fact that they started putting mouths on some of their Pops now makes them so much more lovable, and people just love to collect them as well. Number 4 was from the Suicide Squad line, and it is Harley Quinn. Of course, this is the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn, and why I love this one so much is just because the details on this Pop are so beautiful, and the fact that mine didn't even have a single problem. Everything was absolutely perfect. The tattoos, the writing on the bat, the writing on the t-shirt, the colors, everything, there were no problems with it, no blemishes, absolutely perfect, and this was definitely one of the best looking Pops that I saw back in 2016, and I'm so glad that I have it in my collection. And now we're moving into the top 3. It is actually going to be a Pop ride in my number 3 spot, and it is a part of the Harry Potter Hogwarts Express. There's actually 3 of them. There is Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and of course, Harry is the one in the engine, but Ron is in the boxcar, the first boxcar. But why do I like this specific one so much? Because in the Harry Potter line, there are some beautiful Harry Potter Pops. But this one just connects with the fans, because if you take a very good look at Ron, he has dirt on his nose. And if you remember Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, when Hermione told him, "You've got dirt on your nose," that was just one of the most beloved parts of the movie, and that's where you sort of saw the little love interest sort of kind of sprouting between the two of them. So the fact that they actually did put dirt on this Pop's nose made me so happy, and I have all 3 train cars of the Hogwarts Express, but this one is definitely my favorite. Number 2 is definitely one of the most popular of this past year. It is the Galaxy Toys exclusive of Shenron the Dragon from Dragon Ball Z. This is an oversized pop. We really do have a little bit of everything in this countdown. I'm really happy to know that. And this one also, like the Harley Quinn, just absolutely perfect. I love the texture of this character. The intricate details on this character are absolutely amazing, and all of the effects that go through this. This is a really epic thing to look at. And the fact that it's oversized, it's a big pop. So it's definitely something as if you actually took Shenron and you actually did shrink him into a statue for your display, and this is definitely one of the best looking ones. And if you are a Dragon Ball Z collector, you cannot have a collection complete without the dragon. And that goes to my number 1 spot, and I don't even know if you were expecting this one. This is from the Kingsman line, and it is Gazelle. The reason why I thought this one was so cool, I sort of have to go a little bit further back in time, because Slimer was the first one that did not have a pop standing on his 2 feet. But when the Batman v Superman line came out, the Superman was the first one to actually be given a plastic base that you could attach him to look as if he was floating in midair. And that is now a staple for some pops in lots of different lines right now. But I think that the Gazelle pop took it one step further, because she looks like she is jump kicking. And the base that she's given gives her the opportunity to really look truly epic and truly three-dimensional, and it is definitely one of the most stylish pops that came out last year, and even though I don't have it, I did actually see it up close, and it definitely is a true sight to behold. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Always a pleasure to give you guys a great 10 for 12. I'm looking forward to giving you guys some more topics in the coming year, as well as introducing to you some other fantastic YouTubers throughout all of the YouTube communities. But in the meantime, please put your comments in the box below, and let's talk, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.